3. Let's go. The name is Law Nation. As the room fill up, be sure to smash upon the like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go. When they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Come on. Cowboys money constraints and good free agent moves if ... Q&A. We ain't talking about Stephen A. No. Come on.
Pray for rain.
Ain't no party like a cowboy party. What about a Law Nation groove, baby? Appreciate you and you. And also everybody that's tuning in. Shout out to the notification SWAT on up. Come on. Everybody that's tuning in. Mama said there will be days just like this. Come on. All right. Five, 4, 3, 2. Let me hear that. Stop the cap. Let's stop it, baby. Come on. What's up with y'all, man? I hope all is well. Shout out to the final word last night. Shout out to Big Game James. Shout out to the OC. Shout out to Okoye, Boss Cowboys Sports, and everyone else that tuned in to the Nation, J-Tuck, and, of course, for those followers, those who watch the info but don't comment. I feel y'all. Shout out to y'all too. Everybody, man, that be tuning in. Yeah, I called y'all. I know y'all watching. I know people be watching. They just don't want to say anything. You're like, are you present? Let me know. And then they don't say anything, but that's cool. I appreciate y'all so much. I know because we would do a video and it'd be about 200 people watching, and then a day later it'd be 5,000 views, right? And let me know the community is strong and the playback game is strong and the resources and information is granted, that is also strong. And I really appreciate you guys so much for tuning in on the Facebook as well as the Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. Shout out to those in the TikTok community for getting me over into the 19,000 subscribers there. I really appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys to the moon and back, and we are doing crazy things on all platforms. Salute to the Roku gang as well as the Amazon supporters there too. So I really appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Now, as we get things going, be sure to hit the like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it one time.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns, things we don't know that we don't know.
Yes, indeed. So, Law, you and Boss Cowboys Sports and Okoye Media, y'all may have won the battle, but the war is far from being over, Law. Y'all know what's about to happen. It's about to be the slice and dice time. And I ain't talking about O.J. Simpson. I'm talking about slicing and dicing of Ezekiel, Elijah Elliott, because it appears that may be the angle, right? Because from what I'm hearing, is that there will always be breadcrumbs, right? The trail of breadcrumbs that's leading to a certain pathway, and we can see it, right? We can see it with our natural eyes that, when they start talking about the money, and the money is the money. Now, I've been fair and balanced with the whole situation. And a lot of people saying, Law, are you team Zeke or are you team cut Zeke? Well, I'm team make sure that you replenish what he done for the team and organization and franchise. Now, granted, the last time we had a rookie outside of Ezekiel Elliott to give us even what he did last season, the 12 tubs, right, was in 19 of 77, Tony Dorsett. You have to go all the way back, right? Before HD was even created, everything was still on analog systems. So what I'm saying here is just be careful what you wish for, because even with a bomb knee, Ezekiel Elliott was able to generate us 12 tubs. Now, somebody was knocking on the door with that last night and said, well, Law, you're saying the same thing. That's my guy, Big Game James. You said the same thing that you said last week. And the week before that, you've been saying the same thing. Well, I want to know in the chat box, and I want to know from all of you all, did you cheer when the touchdowns were scored, right? Did you jump up out of your seat? Did you say, eat, Zeke, eat? Or was you selling the whole trash mantra dead, right? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And what I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, that just be careful what you wish for, because those things that you're wanting may be hard to find. It may be hard to find. Now, granted, I look at Tony Romo, not about to say Tony Romo. Oh, my goodness. I'm looking at Tony Pollard as not just a running back. I'm looking at Tony Pollard as a specialized weapon. And the point of it is this right here. Tony Pollard utilized as a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield, that you can line up in the slot, and that can give you those bursts and those accelerations anywhere between, hear me out, 8 to 15. Remarkable. Eat it all up. You know what I'm saying? You can eat that all up. But what I'm trying to tell you guys, Tony Romo, God dog it, why Tony Romo is on my mind. Tony Pollard, I guess it's the Tonys, man. Tony. That was a good group. So Tony Pollard, JP, I don't want you guys, because a third of you all will start to change and flip it on him. I don't want you guys to hold his feet to the fire when he is asked now to do 20 to 25 attempts, 25 to 30 attempts. I don't want you guys to look at Tony Pollard in that fashion. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Hold on. Let me take a whole good sip so I don't mess up my wordings here. And, let me blow that up there. All right. Now I can think, on top of that, shout out to you, Matt. Thank you for your love and support. He says, hey, how are you doing today? You're the best. Keep up good work. God bless you, Cowboy Nation, DC for life. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, Matt. I thank you for helping the show out last night. And let me see if I can get back on page now, since I got my good juice. Yeah, I got my good juice here, All right, so appreciate you, Matt. Thank you so much, man. Matt Batten. All right, so just like, hear me out, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone that's looking and watching. Just like I don't want Rain Dakota Prescott throwing the ball 32, 35, 40 times a game. Although he can do it, I don't want him to do that. It's the same thing that I don't want Tony Pollard to run the ball 20 to 25 to 30 attempts a game. Law, can he do it? Yeah. He flat out can. But there's a thing, a law that's out there, and no one is above the law. Y'all, just can y'all put that in the chat? No one is above the law. There's a law of diminishing rates of return. Who knows what is the law of diminishing rates of return? Can somebody put that in the chat? And what I'm saying is that, yes, Tony Pollard can give you 25 to 30 attempts. He can do all of that. But the law of diminishing rates of return will be there. And what I'm trying to say here is this right here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, LT. No one is above the law. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. And what I'm trying to say here is you guys would flip it on Tony Pollard the moment you guys see those diminishing rates of return, because now you will look at Tony Pollard as the running back and also contextualize the fact that he's getting paid $10.1 million. And now you will say, hey, we shouldn't have paid. Hey, they shouldn't have gave him the money. Hey, X, Y, and Z. The same way that you guys are sullying and denigrating Ezekiel Elliott, the shoe will also fit for Tony Pollard. So what I'm trying to say here is that even though you go into this particular draft, just make sure you replenish. And on top of that, don't cut your nose to spite your face. So appreciate you, Matt. Thank you. You're welcome. You're a good guy. Love the show. Law, appreciate you. You got to give me a blue heart, though. You got to give me a blue heart. But I appreciate you with the red. I thank you, fam. All right, so thank you for your support. So those are the things that I'm saying. And last night, great debate. Look, we don't have no control of the outcome of what the Cowboys will do. We can see the tea leaves. We can see the historical data of what they normally do in these type of situations. They normally look at the money, they look at the budget sheet, and they say, all right, cool. The money constraints is we got too much money tied up on the running back. But I can tell you right now that even though we have it will be $26 to $27 million tied up in the running back room. $26 million is already tied up with D-Law. And which department would be more beneficial to you? A DeMarcus Lawrence or what we generated last year? Like what my guy, Coach Marv, said in the super chat just yesterday. 1,900 yards worth of production, 24 touchdowns, 500 yards receiving. Those two were all generated out of the system that we had last year. And one can argue these things right here that makes my debate and argument such a valid one. We did that with those type of productions with a system that week to week changed like musical chairs. We didn't have no identity with our situation of running the ball. Although we were top 10 in the National Football League, that number could be better. Yes, but no. Every week we change. 1 week with 13 personnel. I've seen literally with my eyes the Cowboys roll out a 14 personnel to never see it again. You know, I was sitting there like, hey, that's unstoppable, man. I love this thing that Kellen Moore is doing. And the moment I went to go purchase the flowers to give that man the flowers, and I'm sitting here having them flowers delivered to him for them to be returned. Why? Because I said, hey, wait a minute. You showed me the identity of physicality 1 week, and then the next week it's a whole different situation and scenario. Let me know if I'm lying. Let me know if I'm lying. Coach Marv, no, Law, we flipped on any player once they get paid. You know, the things begin to look more clouded, you know, when they get paid because people counting the money like it's coming out of our pockets. On top of that, the Jones administration, their family love to talk about pie, right? Look, here's one thing that I know for sure, and I wish that I was doing YouTube back when Tony Romo was playing, that even though these things about the current quarterback, Dak Prescott, he can't win in big games, he's not worth $40 million, etc. Shoot, they were saying that before he got paid. the people that have hate and they only look at the quarterback as the pitfalls, they was said that before the man got paid. I was in a debate one time with someone, and someone was saying that, hey, well, Justin Herbert, you got to give him more time. You got to give him more time. He didn't have enough time. So you should not. So the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder network should not ridicule and sully the brother, right? And I said, wait a minute, hold on. The quarterback that play in these parks over here, he got ridiculed and sullied and denigrated since day one. He was never considered the darling child, right? Everything that dude did, he was counted as, hey, he would not be X, Y, and Z. And I think a third of it came from the Tony Romo people, right? Because they only looked at it from the Tony Romo aspect of it. And then another side come of it from other obvious things. But I'm not finna go down that road, because once you go down there, you'll never climb up out of it. But the problem is the Dallas Cowboys, they love to take a big dump on their own, regardless. But I appreciate you, Coach Marv. I really appreciate you. Go get D-Hop and King Henry. This is from my guy, Trip Aces. Appreciate you so much. I was looking at D-Hop tape, and before we play some of this audio, is D-Hop washed? I want to know, because he's 30 years of age, and the last time he had a solid season was the year of the 2020 season. Is D-Hop washed? I want to know from y'all, or will he be beneficial? And Wagner for 2 years restructure everyone to the amazing cap bump. Yeah. It could be that too. You can't do a lot of things to get that into the building. All right, so shout out to you, Eric. Appreciate you. Close to 100K. Let's go. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, everybody, for being who you are, for subscribing and watching this content. And also watching it on rewind and replay and all of that. I know you guys be busy throughout the day, and not everyone work from home, etc. Any ACLs? I don't know if you have any ACLs. Is it DeAndre Hopkins versus Odell Beckham Jr. sweepstakes? Now, one, you have to give up draft capital. The other one, you just have to give up someone on the team to move him over, right? And then you can have him to compete. Now, both guys are in their 30s. I would say, in my opinion, if the Cowboys love to hold on to their draft picks, then hold on to them. Bring Odell Beckham in for a cup of coffee. It won't hurt anyone. But let's listen to 105.3 The Fan on this topic, because I want to go back and forth with a few of you guys off of this. And I always like to bring in perspectives. So that's why I allow people to have their opinions, right? And keep in mind, I'm not out here to change your mind, your heart, your opinions of it, right? And I do like to have the facts versus opinions argument. I do love to say that. But opinions, those convinced against their will always be of the same opinion still. I cannot change your mind. There will be people who will always have their set of thoughts and their hard beliefs on things, and there's nothing you can change about it, right? There's nothing. There's nothing. So that's just what it is. Now, as far as what William Bernay says, cut Zeke, yes. Here's my thoughts before I play this audio. You cut him, what you do then? What's your next move? Right? It's easier to say, hey, just cut him, get rid of him. He's trash. We can find someone else. Well, what's your next move? There were enough people with vicious venom to say DeMarco Murray, even though he did the production that we seen out of two guys last season and won, because he had 1,800 yards, offensive player of the year, and on top of that, just cut him. He fumbles too much. Just cut him. Just get rid of him. What was your move? Joseph Randle, right? Now, granted, the Cowboys finished third in rushing that year top 5 defense, but we didn't have things to match. And one of the things that really bit us into you-know-what? Blocking. Your most valuable asset, Tony Romo, got creamed. Why? You didn't have nobody to block. Oh, man, Romo should be able to figure that out, man. You paid him the money. Oh, man, an accident waiting to happen. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that if DeMarco Murray was re-signed and re-up in 2015, that he would have been able to pick up blocks and block better and the scheme would have been better. But, damn it, it would have been better. It would have been better. All right, so let's listen to this. You got to figure out, ladies and gentlemen, if you primarily use Tony Pollard as the running back, you will lose out in using him in other capacities. All right, now, Tony Pollard, can he be the bell cow back? Maybe. But there's this thing that I always said, or that I said earlier, law of diminishing rates of return.
That it's Dak Prescott who is probably not the best value, but right near the top. So we're going to go through the list here of the 9 quarterbacks that are on the $40 million club. Sean, would you like to start at the top of the market or the bottom of the market and work up?
Can y'all hear the audio?
Let's go top down.
Okay. Number 1.
I love when the top's down.
Love top. Number 1, $50.2 million. Aaron Rodgers.
And
we're just going to compare that to Dak Prescott at 40. People can debate who they want more right now. If they think Aaron's better than Dak, Dak's better, whatever it is. Like I know Derek Holland, who will be in here soon, would still say he'd take Aaron Rodgers over Dak.
Right.
Is Aaron Rodgers at $50.2 million a better value than Dak at 40?
All right, we're going to pause in between. All right, so would you prefer to pay your quarterback $52 million as it relates to Aaron Rodgers? Give me an answer in the chat, yes or no. Would you have to do some other wholesale changes? Would you rather have Aaron Rodgers on this team at $52 million juxtaposed to a Rain Dakota Prescott? Give me a quick answer, yes or no, in the chat, and we can make it roll from there. LT says, hell no to the no. Nope. Iraq says nope. And, all right, so I see a lot of no's. I don't see Clifton says no. Eric Daniels says no. Give me a guy that doesn't hide in caves. In cave, okay, I feel you. Find me that guy. Give me that guy's name, by the way. I see. No. Chris Blunt says he can't hear. Nope. This is from Dwayne. Leon Ware Jr. Are you related to DeMarcus Ware? He says no. So Ed is the only. He's a lone wolf. Oh. He's the lone wolf. Ed. Well, I wish I had my wolf. Oh, I got my wolf. I made it to the Great Wolf Lodge earlier last week. You know, I was on vacation with the little ones. The lone wolf. All right. So Christopher Blunt says he don't want none of them. All right. So let's listen to more what he had to say. Shout out to you, 100.
Oh, hang on. Because Dak's not going to be at 40 for long.
But we're talking about where the contract is right now.
Because he'll be at 46 in a week.
Potentially. We don't know what the number is yet. But this is what we're evaluating right now.
Look, the whole thing is Aaron done. Like,
why
I don't
do these
know.
look like bunny ears, though?
If it was Aaron, if you told me it was Aaron, I mean, and it's also unfair to say MVP Aaron. If it was MVP Aaron, yes, I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers at 50. Right now, I don't know if he's done. If I had one game to win, I'd pick Rodgers if it was one season, but I don't know. So I guess I can't definitively say, yes, Rodgers is better value.
And even if it's Rodgers is a better player, you want Rodgers for one game. I think that's a different question than the idea of that on your books for an entire season and the type of play you're getting out of him. I think what we've seen over the last year or so would tell you that right now Dak is a better value at 40.
Well, just last 1 year.
1 year.
One year. So the old adage, you pay it. You either are worth being paid or you're not. Mm-hmm. There's no bargain in the middle.
No, there's no middle ground.
So a $50 million, like Patrick, like 50. Let's forget Pat. I'm going to forget Patrick Mahomes because he's a different animal. But if
he's getting 46,
if you're an elite quarterback, if Aaron Rodgers is elite, if he's elite still, then him at 50 is only a 20% increase. That jump from really good or great, whatever you put Dak in, to elite. That's at least 20%. That's worth the $10 million.
It's about a 25% increase on the hold on your cap from Dak.
All right, so it's about a 25% increase. Now, I get it. Before anybody say, well, Aaron Rodgers do have that Lombardi under his name, right? He got one of those. Can somebody put that down in the chat, what year that was and how many years ago that been? Can somebody put that down? And with that being said, granted, for those who want to argue and say, well, he's a better quarterback. He's a better quarterback. He's just better, right? But how many years have it been for that elite quarterback? And on top of that, we got to start looking at it from these type of things too. He had an elite wide receiver, and he had an above-average running back out of Aaron Jones, who one can argue that he's pretty good law. It's been 12 years. Okay, that's been a while, fam. That's been a long time.
If he's elite, it's worth it.
But again, that's not what we're looking to the future and saying that right now, without saying, well, which version am I going to get?
I would say yes.
Okay, interesting. Russell Wilson, $48.5 million compared to Dak Prescott at 40.
Baby,
Russell
baby.
Wilson is not one of the 15 best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Agreed.
Dak, Herbert, I'll go through the list of guys.
Give it to me.
Carr, Goff,
Cousins.
Kirk, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Could argue. Yeah.
So
Russell,
that's an easy one.
Easy.
Russell's not even there. Number 3, Kyler.
All right, so let me pause it again. And I see my guy, Ed the Lone Wolf. My wolf howl is terrible, man. But he said, didn't he won the MVP a year ago? I think he won back-to-back MVPs and back-to-back. It could be 3 years in a row, or it could have been back-to-back number one seed in the NFL or the NFC, basically. And I think, if my memory served me correct, one and done. One and done. Look, I think it was the year, because a lot of people don't cover it, because Super Bowl is the deodorant, the king deodorant of it all. And promise you guys, we were fighting for Troy Aikman in the latter years too, in 98 and 99. And what year we went to the playoffs and we lost to the Cards? That was a horrible one for us, man. Jake tore us up, man. And 1 year we made it to the playoffs and we lost to the expansion team. I think the Panthers. But neither here nor there. We got to also look at it like this too. Let's just be real. Number one seed. On top of that, the top, I think they was the number 2 or number 3 offense in the National Football League that year, with the number 4 ranked defense, and was one and done. And I truly believe that the Cowboys collectively in the last 5 to 6 years, we haven't finished number 1 or top 5 in defense collectively. Now, we had good spurts of defense. We finished 12th ranked in defense, and we finished right before we get to the top tier of defense, but we haven't finished in top 5 in a minute. But neither here nor there. Y'all continue to have those, what we all say, excuses for him, right? But he's the greatest. He's one of the greatest.
Murray, $46.1 million annually. As a value.
My Lord. So how much is it?
46.1.
So Bet Online sent me odds to win just the NFC. It wasn't Bet Online. It was sportsbetting.ag. Mm-hmm. Arizona's last by a mile. It's not even close. The teams before Arizona, Atlanta and Tampa, are 33-1 to win the conference. Arizona's 75-1.
Right.
Kyler is so difficult for me. He's so difficult. I think he has better tools than Dak. Physically, he's better than Dak. He's obviously a better runner. I think he's got, as good of an arm, if not better. He's a pain in the ass. I'm not saying.
Hey, no. So is Kyler Murray better than Ray Dakota Prescott? That's the name of it right now. Money constraints. So is all right. So even if he is better than Dak Prescott, is he $46 million better? And I think that his contract, because regardless of the APY, the main thing that you really need to look at is the guarantees, right? The overall construct of the contract, right? And I think it's $230 million. I think they gave him $1 more million than DeShaun Watson, right? So if you really look at everything, and if you do the numbers, let me see. If you really do that, 230, what was Dak Prescott? 160. 230 minus 160, that's $70 million. Hear me out, is Kyler Murray $70 million better than Dak Prescott? Let me know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, because that's just what it is. And about a year ago, not a soul, and only a few people will probably say, hey, man, Russell Wilson, ain't no way, man, Russell Wilson is 15th, 16th ranked. No. About a year ago, everybody, mama, uncle, cousin was saying that, hey, when Russell go over to the Denver team, they going straight to the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson is elite. He got gold jacket all over his body. He's going to be X, Y, and Z. And now all of y'all, most of you guys, are literally saying that Russell Wilson is trash. What a difference a system and a scheme make, right? Nathaniel Hackett over there, I think that was the head coach over there, didn't know what to do with Russell. And we'll see what Sean Payton going to do now. But yes, indeed, $70 million, no, he's not. Yeah, that's Etta Lockhart. Appreciate you. Nope. Yeah, so yeah, because his contract, Kyler Murray, is $230 million. I think it's $231 million. So actually, it's $71 million. But it is what it is. Let's go. Let's listen to more of this.
Saying Lamar's a pain in the ass. He's a pain in the ass. Like, ability-wise, better value, all things encompassing, I'd lean no.
Not raw. I think what you're talking about is raw talent and tools. Which that's a different question than what kind of a player are you? Which,
of course,
Kyler has not shown that, and especially.
Well, let me just say one thing real quick.
Yep.
If Dak Prescott was thrown into Green Bay last year or Arizona, they'd be just as bad, if not worse. I'd have zero hesitation. Him elevating those types of teams, I have no belief that it could happen. None. Zero.
Completely disagree about Arizona. Green Bay.
You just don't know. You just don't know. Because I love, that's a straw man's argument, right? Law, do you have any truth to this? Well, let me put this in context. Is Jason Garrett a head coach anywhere? Huh? Will Jason Garrett ever become another head coach anywhere? Right? So when we start talking about systems and where they are placed or what have you, you got to do the whole entire piece of it, right? So for the first few years of Dak Prescott's career, he had Jason Garrett. And these last 3 years, we had this dude by the name of Mike McCarthy, minus the pandemic, right? This dude, the coach, Mike McCarthy, took this team 12-5, right? So when you start to contextualize it all, like I said before, way back in 2008 and 9 and all of those years, even if you pick up Tony Romo and move him to the New Orleans Saints, and we had Drew Brees, I truly believe that the Saints would have still figured out a way to get a Super Bowl ring, and Tony Romo would have been looked upon different. And you put Drew Brees over here with all of this mess that's going on, and I know a third of you guys are like, nah, man, Drew Brees is just that good. But they forget about the 79, right? 3 consecutive years. And they view that as, oh, man, we got a Super Bowl. But look at what the type of coaching that he had juxtaposed to what Tony had, right? It's the same thing. So when we start talking about moving players around, we just don't know. We can literally look at even the same thing and the same thing that was said about Josh Allen, right? Without Brian Daboll. Who knows what he would have looked like, right? He had problems reading. He had a strong arm, but he had problems fumbling. He had a strong arm. He had a problem of picking up offensive concepts and a whole bunch of stuff. But Brian Daboll was able to caress some of those things and iron it out, right? Just like what he's doing with Danny Jones right now, you know. Come on, man. All right, so here we go right here with Coach Marv. I appreciate you so much for your support, Coach Marv. I thank you. With your support, and I really appreciate what you did yesterday. All right, so Coach Marv says, Law, even in Madden, Dak can't beat Brady, Rodgers, and Mahomes because it's all about who controls the joystick. It's about how the QBs is used that get the best or worst out of them. Yeah. If you want to put it into those references there, yeah, you know, it doesn't matter how much I can say, man, Trent Dilfer got a Super Bowl ring, man. Brad Johnson got a Super Bowl ring. Joe Flacco, Eli Manning, Big Ben Roethlisberger. When he got his 2 rings, he wasn't elite. He got elite after, you know, they did some wholesale changes and a whole bunch of other things. He never got back to that Super Bowl. All right. Well, he got back to it, then he got knocked out from and he wasn't elite at that time, but he was pretty good. He got beat out by Aaron Rodgers in that Super Bowl. Did us a little favor a little bit because and then you know, still got more Super Bowls than us, but that's a whole nother topic line there. We talked about Joe Flacco. We talked about Nick Foles, right? They got a statue out of that man, you know, in Philly. But it goes to the point whereas you got to have a complete team. You do. But when you isolate it just about the quarterback, you get these type of conversations, which we all love, you know. Shout out to you, Jameson. I hope all is well. You're on the dialysis. I appreciate you for your dedication for still coming here and watching the content. All right, so it is what it is. And at this point, I'm not going to sully nor denigrate Tom Brady because the dude got 7 rings, right? He got 7 of them. But if you look back at the first 3, come on, man. All praises to the kicker, right? And that defense. But neither here nor there, not to throw any shades at Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT, man. That's just what I'm going to leave that at, you know. But let's listen to more what they have to say. Shout out to you, Coach Marv, for the support, though.
You can talk about completely disagree about Arizona where so much of it was dysfunction.
Okay,
and he's not contributing to dysfunction the way that Kyler and Cliff's relationship did.
I agree with that. I would say
Wait. Somebody says I forgot your name and went by too quick. Joe Flacco's really good. Can you talk to me about their defense too? And can you talk to me about their special teams play too? I forgot that guy's name, but I don't think that they would won that Super Bowl without the defense being who they were, and as well as, you know, and shout out to Joe Flacco. I'm not taking anything away from his Super Bowl, right? By the way, you know, but I'm not finna just say, okay, he was the reason why altogether he benefited for being on the team. And shout out to Rice, the Rice brother, you know, that was running the ball. They got kicked out of the NFL, you know, for beating up on his wife now. But outside of that, shoot, the Ravens, low key, believe it or not, the Ravens did us a huge favor, believe it or not. They did. Can y'all imagine? Ray Rice was his name. Jacoby Jones, shout out to you, CT Madden. Ray Rice, Jacoby Jones, you know, Ray Lewis, all of those boys. What's the guy, Ed Reed or what have you? All of those boys pretty good. And on top of that, the Ravens did us a huge favor. All Cowboy fans, man, they did us a huge favor, by the way. You know, let me know if you know what I'm talking about, because I don't know what the world would feel like. You know what I mean? If the other team would have won. You know, come on. Coach Marv says Law Flacco had 2,000-yard rushers on that team. He did. With Ray Rice. Now, I do know that when Trent Difford, when he got a chance to punch that thing in there, they had Priest Holmes and Jamal Lewis and a whole bunch of other stuff, you know. Yeah, Brad Johnson and Trent Difford got a ring. Yep, Williams. So let's listen to more of these guys, man. And then we will flip this show over to the phone lines.
Arizona would be a better situation, but I don't think there's a chance in hell Dak wins 8 games with that Packers team.
Next one, DeShaun Watson, $46 million annually, who played awful last year.
And I'm glad
that
you said
granted,
that.
Though.
That's something no one talks about.
It's a
Which
pass.
is odd.
That's an easy pass.
I think it was because Dak had played the whole year. And so a lot of the conversation on who's not living up to it was focused on Dak and didn't nearly focus enough on DeShaun. It's like people forgot because it was so late in the year when he got there.
What's an easy pass?
He hadn't played in 2 years. I am not going to ding him for playing like dog crap 11 weeks in.
He's 47?
He's 46.
46? Okay. I'm not going to say that Dak is definitely better value. I think DeShaun's a little bit better player. So that one, I won't say definite.
Well, we hold that man feet to the fire because DeShaun Watson, hear me out, he was healthy 1 year. He was healthy 1 year, right? And I think that they had a below 500 record. Let me know. And he played every game, and I don't think that they had a above 500 winning record. And he was healthy. Now, he had some remarkable numbers, and the only stat qualifier that is washed under the rug for us, you know, is what they call it garbage time stats, right? But he racked up a whole bunch of garbage time stats, you know? So shout out to DeShaun Watson. We will see, because I'm going to give that man a mulligan. I'm going to give him a mulligan for last year, you know, being moved to the Cleveland Browns and getting that type of contract. But it goes back to that team was, no, I'm not finna say. Look, Eastside Harold was here every week talking about his doggone Texans, right? And it's quite strange to me. Randall Cobb here, wonderful numbers. Randall Cobb there, oh, he's back washed. So let me understand this right now. So from my knowledge and my understanding and my knowledge, and my complete knowledge of football, Randall Cobb had an elite quarterback by the name of Aaron Rodgers, and he was considered washed. And then Aaron Rodgers come here, and then he's considered, hey, he's a guy that helped Dak, right? And all of a sudden, Dak can hit Randall Cobb and revive and get everything together for him. And then he leaves and he goes back into being washed, you know what I'm saying, with a better quarterback. So from my knowledge, Randall Cobb is the type of wide receiver that can only thrive now with horrible quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? I can't make this stuff up. Let me know if I'm wrong. Aaron Rodgers elite, DeShaun Watson elite equals Randall Cobb trashed or washed. But Randall Cobb here, Randall Cobb is now elite. Now great. I can't make this stuff up. No. I got historical data that shows that Randall Cobb, in stats on my side, that Randall Cobb's career was revitalized when he came to Dallas. But then it disappeared when he left, and it disappeared before he came. But now, oh my goodness, man, it's just crazy, man. What's going on with Randall Cobb? You know what I mean? Randall, what's going on with you, man? So you can't thrive when there's a better quarterback throwing you the ball? Randall! Maybe it's your eyes. The green eyes one day, the gray eyes the next day. Yes, indeed, Randall Cobb, baby. But shout out to him, man. I'm just joking with y'all, man. But look it up. Don't take my word. Do your homework.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there is a shred of doubt in my mind. That
I could be wrong, though. I mean, I'm not hardcore about it.
His QBR was 38 last year, Chop. And even I understand he's. No. He was off 1 year. It was not 2. He missed 21. That was it.
I know, but brand new team thrown into it.
I know.
Give him the
it was 700 days between starts.
That's a little bit
years,
of a pass. Let's judge him starting this year.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that, but I'm saying in general,
you should do that. It's common sense.
Nobody. Okay, we didn't go like, oh my gosh, look at the time between the starts after Dak broke his ankle. Let's give him a little bit of. I'm just saying.
Jesus.
What? I'm just saying.
What did this guy do for you? What did this guy number 4 do for you in your life personally?
Nothing. Here's the thing. Because
take a bullet for him. I swear.
This is what if I could jump in front of it that fast, I would, Sean. If I could jump in front of it that fast, I would. If I could get between him and Julian.
Now here's my thing is with this. DeShaun Watson, the same conversation that I had with Kyler Murray. They got the same contract, basically. Is DeShaun Watson $70 million better than Dak Prescott, basically? Because DeShaun Watson got a $230 million guaranteed contract. So for right now, if we pick up DeShaun Watson and put him in the Cowboys silver and blue and just swap out the quarterbacks, will we be a better team? That's what I'm trying to say right here. So would you prefer to have DeShaun? Now, Dallas a little bit different because you can't be in the massage chair and say, hey, sweetie, meet me at the Oak Cliff Inn for a happy ending. You know, would you be living a little bit better with DeShaun Watson? You know what I mean? Over here with the silver and blue, and you just pick up Dak and say, hey, Dak, you go over there, man, and reunite yourself with Amari Cooper, you know? That's just what it is. Hey, I go and I think about this too. I really do think about this too, man. DeShaun Watson here.
I want me some glory hole.
And Jerry Wayne Jones, man, you sure. Jerry be fighting DeShaun Watson. There'll be some struggles in that doggone masseuse parlor. You know what I mean? It will be some crazy things. I love to be a fly on the wall just to hear all of the commotion of who really get the happy ending.
Get your damn act together.
All right, Jerry, leave me alone. All right, Jerry, I ain't gonna talk about you, man. Appreciate you, man. Jerry, I don't want you to come attack me, you know. Jerry! Jerry! All right, let me leave that alone, man. Allegedly, all of this is alleged, man.
As you should.
Why?
Alleged.
Where does the bias come into play? If
I'm
somebody
asking,
gives,
what did
that's
he do?
exactly it.
How did he line your pockets?
That's exactly it. Nobody does. He is a good player who gets over criticized. When there's criticism to be had, I'll give it to him. And I've said before the things that he's had trouble with.
You treat him as if he is in a higher category than he is. You treat him and you talk about him as if he's getting ready, he belongs in the Herbert or higher category. That's how I feel.
There are lies about or complete misrepresentations about where his status is in the league. And so I'm going to defend this is a ridiculous statement. Yeah.
Okay, what's ridiculous? Give me an example.
Anybody who has him outside the top 10 is being ridiculous.
Nobody has him outside the top 10.
Oh my gosh, Dan Orlovsky had him 12th out of the playoff quarterbacks.
That was just for the playoffs.
All right, let's finish up the list. Daniel Jones got 40 a year yesterday.
Which Daniel Jones we're not going to say is a better value at 40 than Dak at 40, right? Nobody's going to say that.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones at 40 is a better value than Dak at 40.
Let me tell you something here.
RJ, don't.
I got this.
You gave RJ 3 hours to be a contrarian. Here we go.
No, I got this thing. I got this sent to me. Our guy, Bo. Daniel Jones last year, 3,200 yards.
He's one of the efficiency guys, right?
He's a handicapper.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
yesterday he was tweeting me about it. I think his efficiency.
3,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks, 92.5 rating for Daniel Jones last year.
Oh, wow.
Name this quarterback in 2018. 32-23, 24 touchdowns, 12 picks, 95.4 quarterback rating.
Say it again. It's 2018.
Yep.
2018.
And it was how many touchdowns?
24-12. 24-12, 24 TDs, 12 picks, 95 rating. So more picks, more touchdowns, better quarterback rating, more yards thrown.
Man, I don't know. That can't be Dak.
Jameis? I don't know.
That is Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
And they just paid that 40. They paid somebody worse than him $45 million.
Oh, so Bo was insulting it. I like it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Another one here on the list because
That's 2018, 22, and 8, and then 2019. That what gave him the $40 million right there. The 49, 30, and 11. So the Cowboys, they paid the dude at market value. So the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, this whole market value pay structure, it's been a thorn in our side because here's what I'm looking at. This is the difference between 40 and 28 right here. Right here in 2018, you pay that man $28 million, you would get that dude right here for at least 4 or 5 years, right? But what you did was you say, okay, let me wait and let him play one more time. Let him play one more time before we extend him, etc. Then you let him play on this, and now he's asking for 35, 36, right? And then you waited too late, and then all of a sudden, Wentz and the other guy got paid. Jared Goff got paid, and you had to give him more than what they got, right? Because they didn't generate these numbers. And you only pay off the numbers. So that is the problem. That's why it's so important to pay that man before they get to these end of life contracts. And the same would be said even to Tony Pollard, right? Like the Cowboys are playing with fire now because now he's at $10.1 million. If Tony Pollard just generate the exact same thing that he did last year, that 10 is going to be now 15 to 16. And now you got to really fight that out. It would be better to go ahead and extend this dude contract, figure out ways, let it account towards probably $6 or $7 million would count against the cap. By it being a 2 or 3 year deal, you can spread that money out and he will be happy and his team will be happy. But man, when you start doing games this way, bro, it messes up everything. All right, let me just, for the sake of it, let me just play the rest of this. For the
better
sake
quarterback
of time.
rating, more yards thrown.
was that Jameis? I don't know.
That is Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, yeah.
And they just paid that 40. They paid somebody worse than him $45 million.
Oh, so Bo was insulting it. I like it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Another one here on the list because we're going to skip over the next two that were there because they're clearly better value. Patrick Mahomes at $45 million is better value.
Yeah.
Josh Allen at 43 is better value. Although Josh Allen played terrible the last 12 weeks of the year, so just want to throw that out.
Okay.
The other one who's at 40, Matthew Stafford at 40, whose arm is cooked.
Not better
apparently.
value.
So when you look at it, and you said you think Aaron Rodgers you take as better value. You seemed like you didn't know. Like it could go either way.
Either way.
Okay. So considering that, the only two that I think you're saying are definitively above Dak, because again, Watson is another where it's like, don't know. It's right there. The only two that are definitive value out of the 9 quarterbacks being paid this right now are Mahomes and Allen. The two of the three top quarterbacks in the NFL. There just needs to be an understanding.
Well, it's about to get. You're doing this with convenient timing, which is this is why you get accused of your bias. Dak is they're about to extend him real fast,
which they should.
And Burrow and Herbert are about to get paid as well. So Dak will move down that list,
which they should pay him right now, because that's the point. 2 years ago when he got paid $40 and everybody's complaining about it, they're complaining about it that year and acting like $40 million is the same in 21, 22, 23, 24, and it's not. Just like when he signs this extension and he gets 46 is not going to be the same value today that it will be in 23 or 4 and 5 and 6 and 7.
Because it's more complicated than that. There's multiple ways to look at it. Fans don't look at it as, well, so now Daniel Jones is making that, so I feel better about it. Fans a lot look at it as, is he a $40 million player? We kind of isolate it. We take it away from the QB payment list. Is he a $40 million player? In my opinion, the answer is no. That's how fans look at it versus, well, that's just the going rate. So, it's not just everyone looking at it one way.
It's a lack of understanding about the cap, to be completely
right. But you're
honest.
also they're not. Dak is not just being compared in value to guys making above him. He's also going to have to be compared to value to Jalen Hurts, who's making nothing.
Very good point.
Or to Jared Goff, who's making 20 whatever.
Or
a year.
Carr. Carr just got 35.
35. Derek
37.
Carr,
37.
Okay, so Derek Carr 37
versus Dak at what's he going to get?
Dak at 40 is better value
after
than
done.
Carter.
After he gets
46 probably, I guess.
Okay, so we're talking about a $10 million difference.
And he's $10 million better than Carr.
I mean,
Carr was a 59% passer in the modern NFL last year. That's absurd.
Again, that's also his career worst year with a new system.
Ooh, I love it, man. All right, so we went over a lot of these things right here before as exercise. All right, so the topic of the phone calls would be the money constraints. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, just keep in mind, because we point out things doesn't mean that we love a player, right? I got so many messages of, Law, you just love Ezekiel Elliott. No, I don't love that man. If I did, if anything I love, they need to be giving me something back in return, right? My mama loved me. She give me things back in return. My lady loved me. She give me things back in return. My kids, they love me, right? And I love them. We exchange things in return. Zeke don't give me nothing, right? Dak don't give me a thing, right? Now, the Cowboys in general, I'm old enough to be these guys' dads over here. You know what I'm saying? I may not look it, but I am. And on top of that, these are the tropes of it over here, ladies and gentlemen, that the Dallas Cowboys, I fell in love with the team before Jerry thought about buying the team. So there should be me still loving this team, regardless of what Jerry Wayne Jones do with this team. And I'm refused to be like some of you guys. Say, well, I'm leaving because of the decisions that Jerry Wayne Jones do. And that's just the reality. All right, so with all of that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go with the conversation. 657-390-7391. That's the hotline for your mind. Come on. I got you pinned to the top. Jay Lombardi, appreciate you.
Mobbing with my brothers, there's no question, keep it real. Whether we East Coast and over
there are 3 participants in the conference.
Come on.
Please announce yourself.
Hey.
Keep it off the books and keep it coming in.
Be sure.
It's the old see what I'm coming in. The inside caramel just like 100 grand. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug.
What do you know? We got Coach Maul, the first one in here. Thank you for tuning in. Coach Marr from the 803. You're live.
What's going on, Law?
Nothing much.
Hey, Law. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. And I want Cowboy fans to understand this and realize this. And this is the argument when we come about Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott was a first-round draft pick, we wouldn't even be talking about this.
Yeah.
If Dak Prescott was drafted in the first round, we wouldn't even be talking about it because he'd get the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, I see where you're
going.
But
since he been drafted, listen. This, if people don't remember, and see, this is where you go back. Even Tom Brady, after they won 2 Super Bowls, people were still doubting that he was going to fold up and fall apart because he was a 6, 7 round draft pick. He had to continue to win and win until he got to the point where he had to overcome the stigma of being drafted so late.
Right.
Listen, Tony Romo had to went through that his whole career here because he was an undrafted quarterback. He wasn't drafted.
He wasn't drafted. Yeah.
So and listen, Kurt Warner had to go through that because when things didn't work out with him and when he left the Rams, they delegated and said, "Oh man, well he had to keep winning."
He had a short rope because they thought that, hey, they can catch lightning in the bottle again, and they got rid of him.
There you go.
Mark Bolger,
That's right.
Yeah, I remember him. He started off 8-0. Mark Bolger, they were like, well, we can get rid of Kurt Warner, and they sent him off to, I think, the Giants or someone who helped. Kurt Warner really helped Eli out. Really, real talk.
That's right, because he was an undrafted. Because see, that's what, and there's a lot of players, man. They get that stigma. We just talked about it. It's about if they don't come in as draft picks or top draft picks, and they make it. We always looking for the axe to fall. Terrence Steele is another choice. There were people out there saying that Lyle Collins was better because Lyle Collins, even though he came as an undrafted, but he was projected a first round pick.
Right.
And Terrence Steele may not be. He probably done played better than some tackles out there, but they probably rate him over because Terrence Steele still trying to get through the enigma of being an undrafted free agent.
And you know what, Coach? I think with strong coaching, mindset and mentality, and I know money always been in the way, but I truly believe just even last year, our team would have been better if they were to start focusing even with this dude, Lyle Collins, back at guard. Can you imagine if you had Lyle Collins at guard last year and you just keep Tyler Smith on the tackle side and you still had Terrence? You would have had a better physical team on the front.
It would have been better, but that wasn't going to work for Collins. They didn't want to play guard.
The mindset was like, hey, I'm a tackle now. The mindset.
He want to play guard. So that it would have been, and I believe, and it's not, listen, I believe the Cowboys offered that. And I believe they say we got to go. That's what I believe that was given. The choice was given to him, and he made a strong push back. They said we got to go. But Lord, I want to say one right quick. I know you're talking about the Tony Pollard thing, but I wanted to say the Cowboy fans is this: if we truly believe, do we truly believe? I know we have talked about it. I know we have pushed about it. If we truly believe, as Cowboy Nation and Cowboy fans, and our head coach, our new offensive coordinator, who now head coach is taking over, truly believe that the run game is important to the success, the commitment to the run game is important to the success of the Cowboys, and is important to the success of Dak Prescott, which everything has showed that to bring him to another level and improve this offense and make this offense efficient. Why would we take a broken down, a guy that's often injured, Hopkins, at $27 million, or we'll take an Odell Beckham, we'll open our arms to take the Odell Beckham that we know he hadn't even played a game in 2 years. We'll open our arms to those guys and more money than we would, and we'll throw Ezekiel Elliott off the boat where we know he is his production, and he would be less.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Can't have it both ways.
As far as the money wise, like if you look at the $27 million as a money, right? Just as a pie in general. I think that the Cowboys office will evaluate that because first and foremost, they about keeping their own guys that's homegrown. Now, far as to solidify and shut down some of the noise, I think that they are wise enough in that department to make an attempt to appear that they would like to bring in DeAndre Hopkins, but they won't do that. I don't think that the Cowboys would give up draft capital for DeAndre Hopkins when you got Odell Beckham for free. I think that they have more wiggle room to bring Odell Beckham in for a cup of coffee and let the Cowboys nation know that we are trying all what we can to do in these free agency to be active, and then that will hush a third of the Cowboy Nation up, just like Anthony Barr. It hushed a third of us up when we was like, hey, we need a veteran linebacker. We need someone else out here that can shake things up. And remember, we were banging on the table, and they said, all right, they pulled the trigger on Anthony Barr. It hushed a third of us up.
You're right. And I want to say this right quick, Law. How they go about this running back and who they bring in wide receiver, we can talk all we want, but this is Mike McCarthy's decision. And it's going to be his decision. We might think that Jones is this, but this is might be Mike McCarthy's decision. He's going to be the one that says, if I need an Odell Beckham, or if I need a Hopkins to be where I need to be, or if I need a Ezekiel Elliott or a running back to be where I need to be. And he's not going to bolster about it as his decision, but low-key, he's going to be the one in that room, really, and they're going to take a lot of from him about what decision or direction he want to go.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say right quick, I sent you a text, and I wanted to see if you thought what you thought about this. It might be for a future show, but I scrolling through, I found that Preston DeForest Buckner, may be out there on the market. Maybe someone could come in and trade for him because they're trying to cut his salary because the Colts are trying to get a quarterback, and they got a lot of dead money on their cap because of the quarterback shuffles they've been doing all for the last 3-4 years. 1 year left on his $84 million contract. His numbers are outstanding.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Heck yeah.
Ask your brother about him because he was in San Francisco. That's how he got to Indianapolis, and he might be a guy and they trying to get him. They're not looking for draft capital, but if we look into it, we can get him, and I think you can work his deal because he's at the end of his deal, and that's an easier deal to work to fit in where you need to go, and his numbers are good.
I'm gonna look at some of his tape, and most certainly, man, I appreciate you for doing your homework on that. That's better than the Michael Brockers. You know what I'm saying? Somebody look up
he's a
Brockers,
dog. And I see you guys on the screen. He is a dog.
I'm definitely gonna look him up and as an isolated situation, because I like to look at a player from an isolated situation, and then I'm gonna look at the player from what Quinn can do. So you gave me some homework, man, and I'm gonna definitely look at that. And he averaged 9 to 10 sacks a season. I can't turn that down. All right, so I appreciate you, Coach Marv. Appreciate you for your information.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Good call from Coach, man. Great observation. Good call. We'll definitely look at that. And then, look, people, next week, March the 15th, I believe that's when the NFL allow these teams to talk to these free agency guys. And we will see where everything kind of settle in. And I just hope that the Cowboys can find a way to work out a deal with Tony Pollard so we can free up some of this money. And, even with Dak Prescott, I know how you guys feel about the $49 million cap hit if he's not going to get extended, and then next year you can move on from Dak. But I'm not with that mindset. I'm looking with this mindset here. Go ahead and extend the dude, right? And work out another situation of bringing in more and more weapons. I'm not ready to go into this mindset of saying, hey, 12-5, you satisfied with that law? Yeah, look, that's what you're getting. No, 12-5, 12-5 also equals an opportunity that you can get to the next dance and do something along the way. All right, I got my guy Aaron from Long Beach. Man, what's good, man? 562.
What's good, Long? How you doing today?
Not much, man. You Long Beach, though, right? Cali?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Indeed, man. I don't know why I put it in there only a Long B. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you, fam.
Yeah,
Talk to me, man.
Yeah.
Talk to me, man.
Oh, man. Well, when Coach Mark said, you know, he hit it right on the head. What I was going to say? It's crazy how people talk about Dak's money, but nobody's really talking about Daniel Jones getting his money. And I know Dak is better than Daniel Jones.
Yeah, but let me say this because I got burner account the third. I just got to say this. If you don't extend him, you'll get hit with $49 million cap hit. That means you won't be able to do anything for a whole year. You know what I'm saying? Until next year. So that's why I behoove the Cowboys to go ahead and extend. You in a situation where you got to, unless you want to say organically you're trying to tank, and that's foolish thinking. That's foolish thinking in my opinion. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I think honestly, if Mike McCarthy really wants to run the ball, I think we should draft an offensive tackle and maybe a running back in the second round. I can see that rate going, and maybe just draft the defense. I mean, not draft, hit the defense with free agency.
Hit the defense and free agency. I mean, I can look into that and say, if you want to run the ball more, I just look at what he said. We ran the ball, right? But I think that we needed to run with a purpose. I think that we needed to run with a scheme and a system put into place. And I think that that's what more of what Mike McCarthy was trying to say. In my opinion of Mike McCarthy's interviews and press conference, he's not the best speaker.
Nah, he's more about action than talking.
Yeah. Now, Jason Garrett, he can speak, man. He can get, how you doing, guys?
He can talk all day. With you.
Yeah.
But Mike's about that action. So like Coach Mark said, I think this year we're really gonna be running with not just 1 to 3 runs. Like we're really gonna be running with a purpose. Like second down, we running.
Right.
And I think we may be using a 3-headed monster instead of just Tony Pollard and Zeke. Get that third one in there so we can run half the field and pass the second half.
Yeah, most certainly. I even liked, even though the Green Bay Packers last year, right? You seen how they utilized both running backs. The guy with the Aaron Jones, and I forgot the other big guy, the lightning and thunder type of thing. Although our running technique was a little bit better, but I'm thinking of that type of an approach. Or if you look at how the Eagles ran the ball with all 3 running backs, and even if you go all the way back to when I want to say the Buccaneers, when they won the Super Bowl, right? They used 3 running backs, LeGarrette Blount and was it Ron?
And was it Ronald Darby or Ronald Jones?
Yeah, the year they won the Super Bowl, they had Blount out there and the Ronald Jones. Yeah. But I feel you, fam. Yeah, let's use all of our weapons, man. I appreciate you for calling in, fam.
Indeed.
Good call from my guy from Long Beach, man, Aaron, not Rogers. All right, I got Swayze, then I got Queen. All right, Swayze, you're live from the 908. You're live, Chief. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Law? This is the Objective Cowboys fan here, Swayze. I disagree with Coach Mars. I think one of the reasons why we judge Dak Prescott is not because he wasn't drafted in the first round, it's because we're not getting results out of him. That means NFC championships or Super Bowl. That's what the franchise is based off of. Number 2, I think that he said, I think one of the points he tried to make was that, hey, we are running team, should put more resources in the running game and try to focus on keeping Ezekiel Elliott. I don't want to misquote him, but try to keep Ezekiel Elliott, and that was a good decision by keeping Pollard as well. In my opinion, that was a bad decision. Running backs age are 4 to 5 years, especially you paying a running back $10 million in an exclusive tag of $10 million, you're taking that resource that could have been out somewhere, maybe in free agency for on the defensive side, defensive tackle, or a decent wide receiver, third string wide receiver, and you place it on a guy that just came off a catastrophic injury in his lower legs, which he needs to cut. And it just was a bad decision, to be honest with you.
Now, let me say this, though. Let me say this, though. And you brought some newness to this whole conversational piece. What if the Cowboys put Tony Pollard on that non-exclusive tag, right, to allow him to speak to other teams and put a tender out there on him, like a second round? Would you prefer that, or do you like the fact that at least you get Tony Pollard back, and according to resources and notes, he will be ready for training camp?
No, you got to put that non-exclusive tag in. Like, that's what teams are doing now. Look at the Lamar Jackson situation.
Right.
It's cool. If your market says this, we're willing to pay that. If it's a little bit too high for us, then give us the 2 first-round picks. Running backs. Giants put the non-exclusive tag on Saquon Barkley. If the market says it's higher than we're willing to pay, all right, give us compensation. If we're not willing to match that, that's 2023 football decisions. It's not the 90s, and the Cowboys keep acting like it's the 90s. I really don't get it. To be honest with you, who places exclusive tag on a running back that just came off an injury? Nobody's paying them $10 million. Who's paying them $10 million?
Now it's three. I think it's 3 running backs on the tag. Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, and Tony Pollard, right? All 3 of those guys on tags.
And they all are bad organizations that have been bad for the last 10 years. You see the pattern here? People look at examples of franchises that does dumb decisions. Like, I don't understand the argument, since Daniel Jones got $45 million a year, that means giving Dak Prescott $40 million. That was a good deal.
Now, here's my thoughts on this. Now, that is a feel-good moment, right? Because now you can look back at it and say, well, hold on. My quarterback got $40 million. Look at the Daniel Jones quarterback. He getting $40 million too. But I don't want to go down that road right there, because I understand that, hey, I'm about winning. I'm about trying to figure out how to put weapons around said quarterback. And the best thing for this team for right now would be to extend. Let me ask you this, Swayze. How can this team win in 2023? What would be our solution? How would we win?
How we win 2023? I mean, it's kind of, to be honest with you, the best way to win, it would have been not to let Tony Pollard walk, draft a running back in the first and second round to my ready now running back that can give you 20 to 25 carries a game and that can carry the ball 300 350 times this year, and also maybe sign the Odell Beckham at the number two or number 3 slot, wide receiver, that gives you an extra third down possession receiver. Or maybe getting a tight end in the first round that help Dak Prescott. I might have done that. Like, it's a number of ways to win. Also, getting a new head coach. I don't think this head coach is organized enough for Dak Prescott. I don't think he fits well with Dak Prescott. The type of coach that Dak Prescott needs, he would have needed a Sean Payton. You kind of get what I'm saying? He would have needed maybe a defensive coach that would pull the reins a little bit from Dak Prescott and gave him less freedom to throw it 35 to 40 times. But Mike McCarthy, he's giving you lip service now. He's saying, we're going to run the ball. That's not who he is. He's not that. He comes from the school of Andy Reid, the West Coast offense. I guarantee you Dak Prescott's going to be throwing the ball 35 to 40 times a game. Like,
well, let me say this.
The first 3 games.
Let me say this. Here's the thing: how West Coast use their running backs. They use the short to intermediate passes as their run game. We've seen that happen, whereas when Tom Brady went straight to Tampa Bay, he talked to Byron Leftwich and said, I feel you on this offense, but I need to have some control. And that's when they started to go get the same scat back like that they had over there in New England, and they utilized those short to intermediate passes as runs. My only thing is, when it works, I just don't want this team and this organization to say, hey, he's dinking and dacking. That is actually a good thing. That's a good thing for Dak Prescott. I would prefer Dak Prescott to hit the wide receivers on those small cross underneath routes and some of those comebacks underneath versus those deep and intermediate passes that's in traffic.
And I don't think people are going to judge him. I mean, maybe the Dak Prescott haters that just don't like Dak Prescott because of the Tony Romo situation. Maybe they might say something, but if Dak Prescott keeps winning under what he's trying to do, I mean, no one's going to be mad at him. We just want results. You got to get what I'm saying? We want results, and we want you to be one of the reasons why we won the game, and to make up the price that we're paying you right now. We're paying you top 5, top 6 quarterback money, and we want you to act like it. We don't want 23 interceptions and 23 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. You kind of get what I'm saying? Or around that ballpark. That's what he did last year.
I feel you on that, and that's Swayze.
And remember, I said this. I called you before we paid Dak Prescott. The Ravens did exactly what I wanted to do with Dak Prescott. Put the non-exclusive tag. See if teams really want that quarterback. See if teams are willing to pay a substantial amount of money for that.
It was a team though. It was the Colts. They said they came out. It was the Colts. They were willing to pay at that time $35 million and plus give us some capital for it, some draft capital for it.
And we got 2 first-round picks and maybe Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying? So that would have been a good decision for us. It would have been a bad decision for them. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to let you go, but at the end of the day, sometimes we got to look at our own mistakes and see, all right, what can we do different this time? And giving Tony Pollard $10 million in exclusive tag when he's coming off an injury, and that's one of the top running backs' money. I just thought that was a dumb decision and gave some of our resources away where we could put that wide receiver, or we could have put it somewhere in the defensive tackle position. But I'm gonna let you go.
No doubt, man. That's Swayze, y'all. He's a strong supporter of the channel, especially. He will fight you on the Instagram. He'll go back and forth with you. But I do love his overall assessment. He will not give up 12-5. He's not accepting 12-5. But 12-5 is the floor now, y'all. But I do look at it like this from Mike McCarthy's standpoint. Remember, they already installing, right, plays and schemes and stuff like that. And I'm quite sure within the mind he got this going on, that he want to install a Tony Pollard package and he want to install an Ezekiel Elliott package or something like that. It's all up to, like what Coach Marv said, it's literally all up to Coach Mike McCarthy on whether or not these guys can stay. But the writing is on the wall. Whereas if the Cowboys can find in this draft a running back can do similar things that Ezekiel Elliott can do, they might pull the trigger. And have we seen this before? Yeah, we've seen it before. They got rid of T.O., and then all of a sudden Dez Bryant was here, right? They got rid of Dez Bryant, and they're saying that, okay, they can go by committee, and then it didn't work, and then they went and got Amari Cooper, right? So we've seen these type of things happen before in Cowboys land. Now, whether it happened on the front end or the back end, we will find out. All right, I got the next two caller. I got Queen, and then I got my guy from the 2A1, Charles. But let's put it together. She's a queen to be. Queen, what's good with you, lady?
Hey, Law.
Nothing to it.
I'm glad you enjoyed your vacation. Hello, Cowboys Nation.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that I think that Dak Prescott should get as much money as he can get.
Right.
And the main reason I say that is because, number one, they tagged him twice, so I feel like they owe him anyway. First quarterback ever to get tagged, right?
Right. His first quarterback in Cowboys history to get the franchise tag.
History.
Right.
Yeah.
Cowboys
So I feel like they owe him anyway. Number two, they haven't paid him this so-called $40 million a year that everybody always talking about, they haven't paid him that much yet in 1 year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, what are they talking about in reference to that? Anyway, even if they have this so-called money, extra money, that they say that they're going to have if Dak takes a team-friendly deal, you saw what they did with the cap space last year and the year before that. You know, they don't do anything of use, anything good, anything of quality. You know, they want to give us Dollar Tree instead of going to Macy's.
I feel you. It's like, hey, I want to do all of these things with this money, but what you gonna do with it when you got it, right?
Well, yeah, they say they're gonna do this, that, and the other, and then they turn around. It's like they lie to us every year.
Right.
They lie. You know, just to seem like they do it just to keep us quiet. You know, get everybody calmed down and everything. And then they go back and do some stupid crap like not getting that weapons, you know, like he needs, like any quarterback needs. Okay, and so let me hurry up. Zeke. I wish we would keep Zeke. I feel like Kellen Moore was a hindrance to everybody on that offense that, you know, make a difference, that are our bell cows and stuff like that.
Right.
I think that he was a hindrance in their progression and their production. And so I hope that they have it where he stays, because I feel like if he's healthy, which I believe he will be when the season starts, he's going to knock everybody's socks off. And you guys will thank God that we kept him. I believe that. I believe everyone on the offensive line, on the offense, is going to excel greatly under Mike McCarthy. And that's all I got.
And that's a good call from Queen Cowboys, y'all. Y'all be sure to check her out. She's on the Twitter pages, and we're trying to formulate a group where we have a ladies round table, and hopefully she can be a part of that. And to her homework there, yes, the Cowboys were paying Dak Prescott $1 million in 2016, $941,000 in 2017, and $630,000 in 2018. And then 2019, he got the $2.1 million bump increase or what have you, and that was the most money he ever made at that time. And then, of course, in 2020, the franchise tag hit for $31 million. And then in 2021, of course, he signed another franchise tag, but they kind of removed the franchise tag because they made the agreement in 2020, and that was $75 million. Now, when people look at the money part of it, that's all they hear, the $75 million, and they don't know how the contract is being broken down and spread out or what have you. So when we go over here, let me just do this right quick for everyone. So that you guys can understand what we're talking about from these contract situations. All right, so y'all can use this as an argument the next time you're in the barbershop or things like that. The cap hit in 2021 was $17 million, right? So basically, people been saying, $40 million quarterback, $40 million quarterback. Nah, pump the brakes. $17 million quarterback. And then, of course, in 2022, last season, $19 million. You can round that up if you want and say $20 million. So for people to say, hey, $40 million quarterback, $40 million quarterback, it's not like that as far as the APY, because you got to understand some of the money prorated and is hit up front, etc. So now it's the 2023. $49 million we can count against the cap if they do not extend him. It would be better for the Cowboys to extend him so that you would not get the $49 million cap hit, and it will be wise not to cut him, because if you cut him, y'all write this number down, it will be an $89 million cap hit. Can you trade Dak Prescott? No. Why? Because he got a no trade clause on the contract. He's not going to waive it just because you feel mad that he threw a few interceptions in the not the Seattle Seahawks game, but in the San Francisco game. So that's just how it goes, y'all. So when people argue, hey, man, he's a $40 million quarterback, just tell them, I know that you probably cheated on your math test, but no, he's not. Go look at the cap hit. That's how you look at these contracts. Everything else is fluff. Everything is fluff. And for anyone that say, hey, Law, what about the money down the road? Well, let me introduce you guys to Amazon. $111 billion that they done got a deal with the contract for TV rights with the NFL that they already prepaid. It's only a matter of time before that money kick in. Most of that money kick in 2024, and we did this number before in 2025, that the actual cap itself is going to go from here to here. And I'm not even including sports revenue that they're going to get from betting. Trust me, you can make six figures sitting in your chair right here just by betting on games. And you can parlay them. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. If you made over $10,000 last year by sports betting in the chat, let me know. Hit me up, man. Let me know. And then let me know if you use the promo code LawNation too. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed. Y'all kick those bots up out of there before I bring my guy on. Charles in charge. You're live.
What's going on, big dog?
Not much, man. Talk to me, man.
I don't know why Swayze was so against tagging Pollard. He didn't have a catastrophic injury like Dak did. He had a clean break, which will heal by itself. He'll be just fine come this season, and he was our most prolific weapon on offense. Besides the Cheetah, a lot of people saw him as the second most dangerous offensive weapon in the NFL. You know what I mean? Now, I wouldn't have liked to have tagged him. I'd like to have given him 4 years, $40 million,
right,
something like that, and put the tag on Wilson. Because every good defense has that hard hitter, you know.
Right.
Dan Quinn with the Legion of Boom, Cam Chancellor. He didn't want to go across the middle because Cam was there. John Lynch, Steve Atwater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would have, signed Pollard. Because Pollard, his first 3 years, he didn't get many touches. So this was his first year of actually touching the ball. He has the potential to have a Marshall Faulk type season that only maybe 2 or 3 guys have had, 1,000 yards receiving and rushing. He has the potential to be that kind of back. You know what I mean? Being that he's got, good receiving skills, and he has 1,000 yards rushing coming off this last season. And just Zeke wants to stay in Dallas. He don't want to play nowhere else. Nobody else is going to pay him. He's already made his money. He'll restructure to a $3-4 million deal. Do that, and we're basically paying the running back room the same amount we were last year. And this draft is loaded with running backs and DTs. So we can draft another running back and defensive tackle, day 3. You know what I mean? We got third, fifth round picks, and we hit on all fifth-round picks last season, all 3 of them. We lost the Vanilla Gorilla, which we regret, to Washington.
Right.
But people don't realize we were a draft and develop team. We were on the cusp last season, the cusp. If Dak don't shit the bed and throw those 2 picks, or not even that, or if Pollard doesn't go down, you know what I mean? We have a good shot at winning that game. When Pollard goes down, our offense kind of went stagnant. And then I saw that post that you put on YouTube when right after Pollard went down, it was 2nd and 2, and we go 5 wide, right?
Right.
And you were questioning that why we're going 5 wide. Well, while we did that, Dak had like a 7-yard gap, right up the middle. And he could have easily just ran the ball and slid inside the 10.
Yeah.
So on plays like that, he needs to realize he's not Troy. He's not a prolific pocket passer. He can't thread the needle every time. Take the yards that they give you. That's why Jalen Hurts is so effective this year, because he took what the defense
He
gave
did.
him on the ground.
Hurts would take what the defense give them, and he didn't really force anything. When you look at Hurts tape, but what absolutely helped that was you had wide receivers, man. AJ Brown is like farthest east is from west, from AJ Brown to Noah Brown, right? You know what I'm saying? It would be crazy for me to think that I can close my eyes and throw it to Noah Brown and get the same results that an AJ Brown brings to the table. And on top of that, you know, I just think that defense that will help set up a team to be better. And the Eagles did just that. Now they're at the mercy seat. Now we'll see whether or not they can replicate what they did last year.
Well, they're going to lose a lot, you know, of those guys that they signed, you know, for 1 year deals.
Right.
They do have 2 first-round picks. But all we need, we were on the cusp last year. We were so freaking close to get to the 3rd round. All we need is that one splash trade, like the Cooper trade that we did in 2018. I believe Jerry's capable of making that type of trade for Brandon Cooks. I'd rather have Cooks than Hopkins because we need speed. We need speed. Pollard's the only really fast guy on the offense. You put a Brandon Cooks or even hell a Paris Campbell, you know.
Yeah, or DJ Chark. You know, you can look his tape up. 6'4.5", tall guy, fast. He can be that guy that can take the top off the defense. Yeah,
exactly. And then with Gallup, second season coming off the ACL, he should look like the number 13 that we all come to know. You know, usually takes a receiver that second year. You know, and then with their 1st round pick, if Osiris Torrance is there, you take him because that finishes rebuilding the O-line. Only old guy we have is Zach Martin. He's got probably a good 4 years left in him. Our tackles are young, 21 and 25. Terrence Steele's a keeper. I told you he's going to be the next Big E, dog.
No doubt, man. You did call that out, man. I appreciate you so much, man, for calling in. Hey, let people know where to find and follow you at as well.
Guys, After Law's awesome show. Check me out, Charles in Charge, Cowboy Sports Report. I'd like to get to 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of this season. And how about them Cowboys? And if you could change my name back to blue, I don't know why it ain't blue no more. It was blue, and then yesterday it was blue. But, yeah, how about them Cowboys? And, guys, if we make a few good moves this year, it's going to be a year. It's wide open. I'm telling y'all, we were on the cusp with a draft and develop team. Put a few names on this team, and we're going to go all the way. I'm telling y'all. All right, that's it, guys.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. All right, so that's Charles in Charge, man. Shout out to him and all that he do. Shout out to Boss Cowboy Sports. I'm excited, too. So we all excited about this season and how things are going to manifest itself into greatness. All right, I'm going to block the phones up because I'm about to roll up out of here. But I want these 2 callers to spit their mind before we bounce, man. I got MJ, man, from the 206. You in the mix.
What up, Law Nation?
Nothing
Love
to
the
it,
show.
Yeah.
Hey, I watched y'all on debate last night. Your boys and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, but y'all made some good mind. I was checking it out. Like you say, you know me, what I always go to. If we would have,
hold on, let me finish this right here. If we would have beat the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Green Bay Packers, we would have had the #1 seed in the NFL or the NFC at least, and then we wouldn't be having this conversation because you said that we would have beat the who we had to play, the Giants, and who else, and maybe whoever else did crawl up there. We'd have been at the house. We were 8-1 at the house, by the way, right?
Yep.
8-1, and hell, we could have been in the Super Bowl, right?
Thank you. We would have been playing Philly, probably.
No. We can't be. Well, talking about at the house, what have you, and and we would have gave them that L, right? At the house,
unless Video King would have called the same dumb plays. That would have hurt even worse. Just think what that would have happened. Would have Philly at home.
Yeah.
And your boy, Video King, Raheem, would have called the same stupid plays if he got beat. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So I just look at what you said, fam, and I think that we can get that one. Look, that 10 to 15% better by having better plays, and then, of course, utilizing some of your weapons. Because Kevontae Turpin, man, you got to figure out ways to utilize that speed out there on the field.
You got
you're
to
right.
use that speed. We got so much speed. Everybody keep thinking we got slow receivers, man. Man, you got so many receivers over there that's fast on that team. Simi, I'm going to tell you, Mike like them type of receiver.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably piss them off. He probably looked back. He said, man, I got all these weapons, and he making these receivers like they sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed up in the camp, and now and then the third pick we picked, he made that kid look like he can't even play. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, because and just to echo what you're saying, Jalen Tolbert is a 4-4 guy, right? And so he's a 4-4 guy, but we never got a chance to see his speed and these sorts of things because he was out there trying to think. You don't want young players thinking out there. Do you carry the two? Do you subtract it? You know what I'm saying? Things don't add up. So he's out there thinking, using his hands. 1 + 2. You know what I'm saying? He was out there trying to do all of that. Just run a 9. Just run a flag route, right? Let's make it simple for it. Don't complicate the thing. I feel what you're saying, MJ.
And he going to be, trust me, I'm telling y'all. That's Mike, my boy. That boy Mike is so happy.
Yeah.
And they go together. It's like me and you thinking on the same page. It's like you got your network you got going right now, and then you got me working with you, and me and you on the same page. More, this is how we gonna do this. We gonna kill them. And that's what they read. I'm gonna tell y'all, that offense gonna be dangerous. And like I said, they could drop. There's so many guards they could drop, and so many DBs they could drop. We draft really good, so I'm not even worried about that. So I don't care what nobody say. And the guy that might get the last laugh, I'm gonna tell you something, your boy Dak Prescott might get the last laugh because the offense they about to run is gonna make this kid so dangerous. Mm-hmm. And like you say, they're gonna say, Dak, if you see an opening, I want you to run and slide.
Slide to get that. You know, and we've seen that happen before. You know, we've seen it.
Don't be forced. I don't want you forcing nothing. If it ain't that, my brother, just run, give me 2 or 3 yards. Run out of bounds.
All right. And before I let you go, MJ, give me a homework assignment. Give me a player that I need to look up, whether it's free agency or the draft. Give me your guy that I haven't paid attention to. Don't say Benito Jones, though. Don't say Benito Jones. But give me a homework assignment so I can do some film on him.
Hey, I'm going to tell you. Check hold up. I got the guy name. Is that tight end? Is he from Iowa or Idaho? That tight end from Iowa? That tight end cold-blooded, bro.
Iowa.
That tight end from Iowa. Did you see him in the I was watching the Indiana. I was watching the tight end. That Iowa tight end was catching everything. He did nothing hit the floor. And he run his route. And he's strong and fast.
What's his name? What's his name, man? You know.
I can't think of his name. I was watching. I said, man, that's the guy ain't right now.
Is it Sam Laporta?
I think it might be him. It's either him. It's got to be the Iowa tight end because he was showing off so bad. Law, and it's another player. Here we go. I look. Aiden O'Connor is good too, the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And Broderick Morton. Check out Broderick Morton from Western Kentucky, the big defensive tackle. I got him in the 4th round, 5th round. They gave me an A+ if I get him. If we get him. And Brenton Strange.
All right, now you give me 2 minutes, man. I'm gonna look up your first guy, Sam Laporta, and then we'll figure out the rest. All right.
And Broderick Morton.
Check
out Broderick Morton.
Morton.
Broderick Morton. Big defensive tackle, Western Kentucky.
Western Kentucky. All right, yeah. I love this because I'm looking for those late gems, like third, fourth, fifth. No, let me kick it back. Fourth, fifth, and sixth round guys. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I got.
Yeah. Give me some. That's where you get the real good homework at, man. I appreciate you so much, fam.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And let's hit them lights for law. And how about them Cowboys? This our year.
Finally, man. Keep the dream alive, man. Yeah, Sam Laporter, appreciate you. Dalton Kincaid, you know what I'm saying? He wears 86 too, right? All right, let's go with the Sonny from 970. You live.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them, man? Talk to me, man.
Hey, I've been watching. I haven't called you since the San Francisco game, but hey, I really think next year, I want you to remember this. On next season, we're going to go 14-3. CD's going to be over 1,000-yard receiver, and Gallup will be too. I think Gallup's going to have a big year coming up because he was hurt last year.
Yeah, he was still recovering, yeah.
And the only question I have is our running back.
Who we gonna have? Who gonna be our running back, Sonny? Who gonna be it?
I don't know. I really don't know. If we do not fix that, we're probably gonna be in trouble.
McBride, baby, he's gonna be our running back.
Yeah, but I really believe, like you said, we was only a few plays away from being in the Super Bowl last year,
When you look at it that way,
yeah. It to the championship round.
Yeah.
That game against San Francisco could have went one way or the other. That guy just made a hell of a catch is all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Turpin, he almost ran it back, but ran right back into the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when he ran the ball back there towards the end?
Oh, yeah. He had one guy to be – and I don't know why he didn't cut it.
Smack right into it.
He cut back into the inside. You're a 4.29 guy. Cut it to the edge, man, and allow that dude, if he can really stop you, let him try to really stop you. You know what I mean?
What that and put the score. How late in the game was that? That was right there within the 2 or 3 minutes of it, wasn't it?
Man,
of the game.
I can't even recall it, man. I just know that he had a chance there, and of course
we're bringing him back, right?
Bringing
Turpin.
Turpin, look, believe it or not, Turpin, he played too much last year. Think about it. He didn't have no off season to catch up and just to recover.
No.
So he's recovering now. So Turpin, he may be even more explosive next season.
You think Gallup will be better this year, that is more healed? I look for him to have a breakout year.
I look at Gallup. I just got to see him. I just got to see him before I put any fingers on him. Soft tissue issues are always these things that happen.
If he can just be 98%, that'll surely. And I think CD's going to go off this year.
Oh yeah. Ooh yeah.
Michael Parsons. He was hurt a little bit towards the end. Some of our guys were, but he's going to step it up. We just have to see. I don't think Philadelphia will win that's hard to go back-to-back and win your division.
Man, Super Bowl hangover, too, it's going to be rough on the Eagles, man. And they doing wholesale changes. Offensive coordinator gone in, defensive coordinator.
Be just as good or no? We have to see what the schedules are.
Right. We got to see what the schedules are.
That's going to tell us what.
I think that the team worst to first, the Washington team, they're going to be not first. I think my Cowboys still going to be first. But this is my order. And we're going to have an NFC roundtable soon. This is my order. Cowboys number 1. Washington team number 2. Number 3 will be the Giants. And the Eagles will be in dead last out of the division next year.
The Eagles will be in dead last? I mean, what do you see them? Why do you think they're going to have such a fall off?
For one, they're going to lose about 7 to 8 guys. They already lost their defensive coordinator. They already lost their offensive coordinator, and they are doing the blame game. They pointing fingers and no one taking accountability. They blaming the grass. They blaming the offensive coordinator. They blaming the defensive coordinator. You haven't even heard not one word from our team of guys over here talking about any of those things, as far as our offensive coordinator, etc.
No.
So I think that we are well put together.
Washington will be number 2 then.
Ooh. Why I think that? Structure on the offense. They got rid of Scott Turner, who was their version of Kellen Moore over there. And on top of that, they got in this guy, Eric Bieniemy, that's going to elevate Jahan Dotson, elevate Scary Terry. He's going to somehow be semi-scary. And they have a hell of a running attack with Brian Robinson and everything. So I think that they're going to be the number 2.
And they got a pretty good team as it is already, right?
They're pretty good. You know, their defense is still top. I just hate the fact that they tagged Daron Payne so we couldn't get a chance to scoop him up.
They're probably going to have what kind of a schedule do you think they'll have?
Washington?
Washington.
They're the worst. It was the worst team in our division, right? So they're gonna have an easier schedule than all of us, you know.
Yeah. Well, you think we're going to be right in the middle of the pack as far as schedules go, or what?
I think we're going to be right in the middle of the pack. I think that this particular team, we'll be okay.
You know, how come Philadelphia got the easiest schedule last year, and they ended up in number 2, didn't they, last year?
Yeah, there was a playoff team. They finished 9-8, and then they had one of the easier schedules. I think that some of the schedules that it looked like for the Eagles, it was not just easy, it was just how and when they had to play a certain team too. Like playing a team at the time that it mattered. You know, see, the Cowboys schedule, they counted us out. Remember, you know, I had us losing to the Rams. I had us losing to the Green Bay and a few other teams.
You got that one right.
Yeah, I got that.
Losing to Jacksonville, you got that one right.
Yeah.
And you got it right against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And you only missed one. That was against the Rams. Your other picks all were right.
They were, but I don't want to be right like that though, man. But it was set up to fail. It was set up for us to fail last year, right? They had us against Bucks, Cincinnati, and then we went on the road. Oh, there were 2 home games, right? 2 home games, and then we went on the road to who was our third team? The Giants, right?
Oh yeah.
They had us set up to fail. You know, two difficult teams, and then a division rivalry game. You know. So they wanted us to start off 0-3.
Yeah, and you think Jacksonville will be as good as last year, or was that they're gonna get better? Huh?
They're gonna get better, man. They finna have Calvin Ridley back, man. They finna draft some more pieces that they can put around Trevor Law. I like T. Law. You know, I like what he brings to the table, and they're gonna be even hungrier, man.
And what about Detroit? Do you think this could be the year that they win the division?
Yeah.
Or no? Are they still a couple players away?
Who won the division last year? Minnesota, right?
Minnesota did. Yeah, they had that. Oh, yeah, they've had it miserable.
I think that
you don't hear about their quarterback, but you sure hear about ours.
Yeah, we do. I think Detroit going to win their division next year, though. Yeah, go ahead and put that out as an early warning shot for the Minnesota fans.
And I don't know how not Green Bay, but Buffalo will do, But I do believe Kansas City will probably win the division again.
You know what? I'm going to say this for my brother. Because, he's a Niner fan.
Yeah, I know he is.
They're not even going to win their division.
Because of the quarterback situation, right?
Yeah, it's going to be the Sea Chickens. I think they're going to win the division over there.
Yeah, a lot. I listen to that NFL thing on my Sirius XM out here when I go down, and they said that Seattle could actually be pretty good this year.
They got a top 12 draft pick. You know, they're gonna build around Geno. I know Geno is not the best of the best, but they're gonna Kenneth Walker gonna be a little bit better. They Tyreek Woolen on the defense. They can put more defense. Yeah, they might end up being the number one team in that division. You know, Niners not even making the playoffs.
Yeah, win the NFC. Who's the number one team going to be in the NFC besides us?
The second team. Oh my gosh, it's going to be an unknown.
Probably Seattle. Wouldn't you say Seattle? I would say Seattle probably about second best.
I think Seattle will be the surprise coming out of the NFC. You know, it's going to be Cowboys.
Minnesota.
Minnesota's still going to be a good team, but I think Detroit is going to be that offense is you just going to sit back and eat your popcorn watching that offense. You know, it's going to be nice. You know.
Yeah. But you really, if you're going to be a bet, man, I would throw some money on Detroit to win the division.
Throw some money now, man. Use my promo code, man. Law. You know what I'm saying? Use underdog, man.
But you heard my prediction. I say CD's going to have 1,000 yards, over 1,000, and Gallup's going to be right at about 1,000-yard receivers. We're going to have 2 of them on our team this year.
No doubt. Man, I appreciate you for calling in.
It really depends on what we do at running back. I feel like that's going to be our big thing right there.
Yeah.
But, I agree we should probably keep Zeke this year.
They're going to work something out. Here's what's going to happen. Zeke going to have to take that pay cut. I believe that's what they're going to try to do with Zeke. And then when he take the pay cut, because I think that he don't like the Cowboys. He love them. And we'll figure out something with that signing. I thank you so much. Hey, before I let you roll, what you think the Saints going to do, man? Because there's a lot of people say you left out the Saints. They got Derek Carr. They got Chris Olave.
We're just going to have to – we just got to wait and see what happens. They should be okay. I don't know. David Carr, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to wait. We really won't know until after, spring, until they do the training and stuff. But
no doubt, man.
See who. But Carr could actually have a pretty good year.
Yeah, he got some weapons. Well, he had weapons last year. You know what I'm saying? But he got Chris Olave. He got some young guys.
Pretty good in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
They said he was throwing that ball pretty damn good. I heard. But hey, I don't know. And I don't know what's going to happen with the Green Bay quarterback. Oh, what's his name?
Aaron Rodgers. But we'll talk about that, man. Appreciate you, Sonny. Let me hear you say it before I let you roll.
Appreciate it, guys. And good luck.
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys?
How about him, man? That's Sunday, man. Good hearing his voice, man. I know we've been still licking our wounds over here, But before we get up out of here, man, I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Thank those who called in.
Goodbye.
And I really appreciate you guys so much. I know this show went overtime. I know I should be live for about 2 hours. My schedule a little later on today will be me and Ashley. We'll go live in about 3-4 hours from here, and we'll talk about more things and pick her brain on surprise players that we should draft and things like that. Don't hold her feet to the fire. As things go along the process here, things change, right? So we'll be live a little later on today, but keep everything in front of you guys. Let it be known that the off season is long for a reason and nothing is set in stone, right? It can change just like that. Keep in mind, next week, teams will be allowed to start negotiating, talking about contracts and things like that with the other parties. The tampering rule will be lifted or what have you, and we will be able to go over a lot of things from there. If I offended anyone today, charge it to my head, not my heart. And if you guys offended me, I will try to charge it to y'all head, not y'all heart. You know what I mean? I'm just playing with y'all, man. One love to all of you guys. But keep in mind that the Cowboys' journey, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And one hell of a marathon, too, by the way. I'm tired of running. Come on, Jerry. Figure it out, Jerry Jones, right? You said you made a plan or a deal with the man above. And I think it was right around this version right here. Let me see. Here he said.
Already won 3 Super Bowls, wants only one thing. And when it's America's team, there's only one authority he can negotiate with.
I made a deal with the guy above. If he'd give me that third one, I'd never ask again. I've been trying to figure out how to make another trade.
The guy above may be telling you a deal's a deal.
Well, as long as I know where he is, and I do, then maybe we can recraft the deal a little bit from time to time. We need another Super Bowl.
We do need another Super Bowl, but Jerry, I hate to bust your bubble. Because the man above, the deal that you make with him, he give abundantly, right? There's no constraints to his giving. He pour upon blessings that you can't receive. The cup runneth over when you make deals and plans with him. Law, where you going with it, Law? Well, if you make plans and deals with someone else, there's always something attached to it. There's always repercussions and other things that attach to it. So, Jerry, you might have said to us that you made a plan with the man above. But you know, and I know, and everybody that's listening right now know that that plan that you made with whoever it may be, I'm not going to give that person and their name any credit for that. They got you by the short hairs, as old folks say. They got a strong hold upon you. So you're going to have to revert that plan, and you're going to have to get on your heads and knees and find and go into a closet and start making other plans privately. And you will be rewarded privately, you know what I mean? Or secretly. Not to make it too biblically speaking, by the way. But I want to let you guys know that regardless of what he made, the players themselves got to make their own plans. And they got to make their own strong desires on the things that they want. Write this down. As Don Juan says, don't extend that. I feel you. All praises to the Most High. But write this down. How bad do you want something? What is your desires? If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep. If all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you all hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it, or lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply go after, Jerry, the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besiege and beset with the help of Almighty, you will get it. Don't matter what you made in the past. You know, don't matter what you're doing now. But it's going to matter how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. The how is the why. Appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to you, Julius JV, for the $20 Cash App. Shout out to you, Brown, for the $10 Cash App. And shout out to you, Richard, for the $5 Cash App. I'm rich, baby. I appreciate y'all so much. One love, Cowboy Nation. Win, lose, or draw. How about them Cowboys? I'm running around here, and we going to be waving some Cowboy flags around here. Law! When we going to win the Super Bowl, Law? Cowboys United, baby. Cowboys United, Law. We gonna be united, baby. And we gonna start that parade that you had a dream about, Law. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. Roll those credits, by the way. Come on. My credits rolling, baby. Roll Tide, huh? Matt Batten, baby. Coach Marv, thank you. And Obi-Wan Kenobi, I messed your name up, but Joseph. Moto, appreciate you. Trayvon Hill, appreciate y'all. I murdered y'all names today. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Now, run it up, baby. Maybe that's what I wanted to do anyway. Hashimoto, I think that's how you say that. I've been really in the field. Hey. Shout out to you, Paul. Throw some bread, yeah. Let me see some blue hearts in the chat, man. Y'all gotta say it like me. Hearts. Put some blue hearts in the chat, baby. Come on, Cowboy Sports Report by Charles in charge. Appreciate ya. Come on. Shout out to my dog, Talk Montana. Billy, I see you.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still sit and roll my change. Take some losses when I play. Charge it to the game.
Come on.
I'm with Elliott,
hey.
I'm with T-Black, I'm with
hearts. Put some hearts in there.
I'm with Jay, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides. Now it's about loyalty.
Come on.
You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me.
Hey.
I mix Nike with designer, I experiment.
Come on.
You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer.
Call it too legit.
I've been really in the field.
Come on.
Rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
The ability to throw the ball up sometimes in double coverage, come down with it, that would help the Cowboys offense.
Oh, really?
No doubt.
Yeah, whether you're an X or a Y or however you want to categorize him, he's an alpha receiver. Yeah. That dude can be your primary target, and you can move the chains in your offense, in your passing attack through a guy like this. I don't know. I'm surprised. What people say, well, maybe he could be had for a second-round pick. I'm thinking, that sounds like a good expenditure to me. Mm-hmm. What must Dak and the Cowboys do this season, this offseason?
What we must do?
Take the next step.
Well, they need a receiver. There's no doubt about that. And they need another runner. They need a big runner, though. A 220-pound runner. Look, I know Mike McCartney. I know him very well. And he said it. He wants to run the ball. Not soft runs, hard ball runs. Right down the center of your defense. That's going to set up the play-action pass. That's going to get the linebackers to suck up.
Ooh, too much information for y'all.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Spartans never retreat. Spartans
Lately,
never
I just wanna run it up.
Slow it down for y'all. Shout out to you, JT. I see you, man. I hope all is well with you. I know you've been on the dialysis machine. I'm praying for you. Hey, we keep prayers, shooting them straight up to the heavens for you, man. Keep fighting, fam. Yeah. Come on. Yep. Shout out to Uncle Charles, too, man. We praying for his father. And anyone else that need prayers. Prayer line is open. Just shoot me a text. Come on. Hey. And you. Don't let the street lights hit you. Don't let them hit you, baby.
You know it's dangerous to go alone.
Come on.
Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too?
I'll follow.
The ability to throw the ball up.
Wherever you go.
Come on.
Whatever you do. Player too.
And another one.
And another one. Fighting you was the one I lost. 7 wonders all in one.
From desire, you feel
all in one.
Caught in desire,
don't let the street lights hit you all alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone.
Come on, man.
Don't let the street lights hit you. Could I be on play it too?
I follow. Come on. All the haters, do me a huge favor. Lean forward. Get out of here.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly,
Ego down.
it doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Them boys can sing, man. Them boys got it.
I got nothing but love for you, baby.
Boys good.
Got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love for you, baby. Got nothing but love for you, baby.
Thank you.